Hey everybody, I just want to come today and talk about the Bahamas again. I just feel like it's really getting pushed out of the news and getting pushed out of people's minds as much as possible. So I really want you to understand what's still going on there, that they're still in dire need of help and they're still not getting the help they need. Okay, this is an article. It's from the Ledger. All the links will be in the description. It says Hurricane Dorian relief, the tale of two storms on one island. That Bible. Hurricane Dorian tore homes from their foundation on the east end of Grand Bahama Island, where life remains miserable and help is hard to come by. But Freeport, on the island's west end, is returning to normal life. See, that's the thing, is they showed you videos of people leaving their house from Freeport after the storm surge. They continue to show those kind of videos, yet they are not digging in and showing you what has just been horrific on the other parts of the island. Grand Bahama Island, 3 firefighters from West Palm Beach used cracked plywood to scrape the remnants of Judy Mae Feaster's kitchen off the foundation of her home. The sun beat down Tuesday afternoon on the concrete slab that once lifted her one-story house a foot off the ground before a powerful hurricane floated most of it out to sea. The slab is all that's left of Feaster's house, at the end of the street with a new waterfront view after Hurricane Dorian toppled lush pines that once blocked Rocky Creek residents' view of an inlet hundreds of feet away. Feaster cried while staring at her crumbled 4-bedroom home for the first time since the storm struck 2 weeks earlier. You guys imagine this? I mean, I just pray to God every day for these people. It was as though two different cyclones crawled through the Grand Bahama Island. Listen to that. That's true. It wasn't 2 different cyclones, but it was definitely 2 completely different environments. On the east end of the 96-mile archipelago where Feaster lives, homes are in shambles and aid is scant. On the west end, where she works as a chef in a resort, a warehouse at the port was filled with construction supplies, food, and bottled water, and volunteers had arrived in droves to supply Bahamians with needed goods. While popular tourist destination Freeport was slowly recovering, the other side of the island, where the eye wall swept through after first raking the Abacos, still struggled 2 weeks after the most powerful tropical cyclone in the nation's recorded history made landfall. "We need help," Feaster cried. A team of volunteers from Palm Beach County and throughout South Florida and the Treasure Coast arrived Monday with supplies from the port of Palm Beach aboard the Grand Celebration cruise ship, sending firefighters, doctors, and construction workers as far east as Grand Bahama Island as a pickup or 18-passenger van could take them. But there was only so much the Bahamas Relief Cruise, a non-profit pulled together by West Palm Beach business owners, could do with its mounds of supplies and 300 skilled volunteers. But only 2 days on the island. That's all they could be there. West Palm Beach Fire Rescue Captain Scott D'Angelo gave Feaster a 6-person tent and helped her clear a place for her on her concrete slab. Feaster and her husband Steve, who had weathered the storm with family in Freeport, still expressed hope. "We heard the voice of God saying, 'Move, move,' before the storm, so I thank God we left because we would be dead right now." How many thousands didn't leave? How many thousands are dead? They're still reporting 50 people died. This is horrific how they're reporting what has happened down there. Life is precious, but this, Steve Feaster added, pointing to his home of 30 years, things can be replaced. Yeah, that's true, but will they be replaced? A couple of miles west, in a settlement called High Rock, Lynn and Leon Lang weren't sure if they would ever live in the home that they've owned since 1969. They stood in their living room, and stared at their lawn through a missing western wall. The Lings, too, rode out the storm in Freeport, expecting to return to a home that had weathered countless hurricanes. This wasn't a normal storm, people. A lot of people just left their homes behind because they can't bother with it, said Lin Lane, who sells jewelry at a store in Freeport. They don't think anyone is coming for us. Meanwhile, in the port city, fast food restaurants had reopened, several homes, condos, and resorts and generators lighting their structures and running air conditioning systems. Yep, they're all getting back to normal. Everything's going to be fine for all the ones that they didn't hit with this attack. Denise Boyd, a driver and tour guide who lives just outside Freeport, drove the length of the island Tuesday with some of the cruise ship volunteers and coordinates. It was her first time visiting the battered East End since the storm. The main two-lane highway was lined with pines and Hurricane Dorian's winds had either toppled or stripped off their bark. I mean, literally, there's nothing left. Remember the movie Pirates of the Caribbean? Boyd asked, drawing on her tour guide script. It was filmed here on Grand Bahama Island. It isn't the same lush green landscape you'll see behind pirate ships in the film, though, she said. Oh my God, she interjected, near Turtle Reef Resort along highway on the east side. You could never see the water from here before. You guys, I'm not going to read all of this, but it's just becoming horrible, and I want you to realize that these guys are trying to get help. There are people that are trying to get help down to this area. I mean, look at this. They raised more than $500,000 for this trip. But this is what I want you to understand. Now look at this. Here's your supplies that are supposedly getting in here and that they keep sending to them, okay?
Got another one on its way. Church of Ascension, Remax, Third Wave volunteers working with Operation 300 on the ground in Treasure Cay. This flight's going out tomorrow morning. Loading her up in the truck right now. Bless up. Bahamas strong.
All right, so tell me what went down when you went to Freeport.
Freeport, we sent boats over, and they get all the supplies and the stuff is taken by the government.
All of it?
All of it. We're giving it to people, they're taking it, telling the people to back up, and then they're taking it off the boats.
So they're commandeering everything you bring on into the islands?
6 boatloads.
6 boatloads?
Yes.
And they wouldn't let you give it out to anybody?
No.
They commandeered every bit of it?
Yep. Same thing in West End.
All right, perfect. Send it at West End.
Yes, we quit going.
Perfect. What do you think about it? What are you girls? So these 2 young ladies here we just picked up, both these young ladies right here was on the ground in the Abacos for how long? 2 weeks? Just about 2 weeks. Are you girls satisfied with the government response? All right, y'all heard it. So all y'all were hanging around and voting for party. This is what happens. The government is an absolute failure. Absolute failure. The people back in Marsh Harbor and in Grand Bahama are suffering because of greed and selfishness and plain out stupidity. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I've been preaching this forever now, and look here, I can tell you all the God's honest truth. I can continue to do what I've been doing, taking supplies in as often as I can to help my brothers and sisters in need back in Abacos. So, all y'all who think the government doing the right thing, y'all need to go and stay in Parliament House.
But this is what they're going through there. This is what they're waiting for. This is what they're dealing with. Can you guys imagine what they're going through? This is almost 3 weeks after the storm has hit. Can you imagine doing this every day, trying to just get some food for you and your family so that you guys don't starve? These videos are coming from Bahamas Press. Please subscribe to the channel and pay attention to what they're putting out. The information is actually from the island, not from mainstream news telling you what's actually not true.